Good evening, everyone. Welcome to CML Infotech. Today, we're going to talk about Ether channel from CCNA. So, the last class we discussed about the theory portion from the Ether channel concept. So, Ether channel is a let's say as a techniques to bundle multiple physical interface to get higher bandwidth and to perform as a logical single interface. When you have a dual interface between two devices, the STP will make one active and the remaining disabled states or blocking states. To avoid that and to have a higher bandwidth, we will make multiple physical interface as a logical one. Moreover, if you have two core switch acting as a single by doing a stacking connectivity, and from downwards your access switch on other switches will be having a two link to the core 1 and core 2 will be making as a single. This is the idea and the concept behind making the Ether channel. We also call it as Ether channel, port channel, lagging, link aggregation group. There are a few names. So let us say we have a two switch here, 3560, 24 ports. So when we say 3560 above 3000 will be considered as a layer 3 switch. And from the Ether channel perspective, we have a layer 2 Ether channel as well as layer 3 Ether channel. Layer 3 Ether channel will be considering as multiple layer 3 interface will bind as a single and will assign an IP address. We can discuss this later during the layer 3 class, routing class. Now we're focusing on layer 2 to traverse the VLAN informations between switches by having dual link. Let's say we will turn on the switch first. If I click the switch, you can see the switch have power module with empty slot. We need to put the power. So let's say if I put CLI, it says that device must be power on. So you can see the power slot. We can put here and two power slot. And we have a default 24 ports. Then we also have SFP module. Then the second switch. Here you can see the first 1 to 24 is a downlink ports, and you can see also SFP module. This is 10 gig, and you can see they mentioned like G1, G2, G3, G4, 4 uplink, and in G3, G4 you can also see TE3, TE4, which means 10 gig. So G1, G2 is 1 gig, and G3, G4 is 10 gig. So this is 3560 model, and you have a console port on a backend. Now the switch is turning on. Hope you can see my screen. Enable. Show version command will help us to address the physical ports. You can see here 28 giga Ethernet. The 28 means 24 plus 4. We will have 28 giga Ethernet. Then if I put show interface status, you can see here gig 1 GB speed. So this belongs to 0 module. Then if you come across, you can see the next module, 1 gig 1 module. So always when you have uplink module, better to connect the interconnection through uplink mode. We can turn on the second switch as well. So let's say the second switch. So in the second switch also, which model it is. $36.50. So this is $35.60. So we can remove this. We can add a switch. Switch $36.50. We can use the same model. $36.50. Then you can see here we need to turn on the, we need to add the power. We have redundancy power. Then we can add the module here, which is 1. If you can realize this physical connectivity, keep close watching that. You can here see that TE3 and TE4, which means the third port and fourth port are ready to support 10 gig. But if you can see GLCT, which is 1001 gig speed, and you can see GLCETE, which is also 1 gig. It's a copper port. So by physically, the switch is ready to support 10 gig. But we have here ports which is 1 gig only. So if you have a port 10 gig, that port by physically can support 1 gig as well as 10 gig. But here we have a module only 1 gig, so we inserted 1 gig. Now you can see this is second switch. We can name it config host name switch 2. So run. I put the name as host name switch 2 for easy to understand. Then you can see we have 24 ports and 1 ports, 4 ports in up down uplink ports. So let's say we will use a system to connect here. I have one computer here. I have another computer here. We have 2 computers. Then this computer IP. So let me share this in this way. If you can see, you have a one switch, and you have a second switch. Then you have PC here. You have a PC here. This PC I'm connecting to the switch, and this PC I'm connecting to the switch. Okay, let's say the port number this is G1/0/1. This is G1/0/2. VLAN, let's say 10. This is VLAN 10. This IP example 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 2, and you need to mention what is the slash. So that's here /8 because of its class A default. Now between these switches I can connect 2 cable for a redundancy purpose. Okay, the port example, uplink port G1/1/1. Same thing, G1/1/1. Here I have a one more link which I am connecting, G1/1/1/2. Here same as G1/1/2. Switch 2, switch 1. If I do this, and this is we call as a trunk port. Trunk. Trunk. If I do trunk between them, one of this port will be up and the other one will be blocked due to an SCP calculation. So in order to get both the link speed, let's say this, if it's 1 gig, we'll get 2 gig speed. To get the 2 gig speed, we will make them as bundled. When I say bundle, we call it as a port channel. So let's say this is I'm marking as a port channel. Let's say port channel 10. When you're planning to perform port channel, make sure that you have, most of the case, you have to have a same set of speed, bandwidth, all stuff. So we can try by doing this. When we do a port channel, you know that we have a protocol we mentioned before, LACP and PAGP. PAGP, Cisco proprietary, and LACP, open standard. So both the sides should have the same set of protocol. Like if you're configuring LACP on switch 1, the other side must be LACP. And if you configure on switch 1 side PAGP, the other side must be PAGP. Then within the LACP and PAGP, there is a protocol. Either you can configure by statically without any specific protocol that LACP or PAGP, you can put on. Or if you put the protocol LACP and there is another mode within the LACP called active and passive. You can configure active on both the side or active and passive, but not passive and passive, because when I say passive, it's just waiting to get the info from the other side and no one is ready to transmit. So let's say if I'm configuring one side active and the other side passive, the active is ready to push the information, whereas the passive is ready to accept. If both the side is passive, it won't work. Port channel configure ചെയ്യുമ്പം രണ്ടിലും same protocol ആയിരിക്കണം. And same protocol even if LACP ആണെങ്കിൽ അത് active passive ഉണ്ട്, രണ്ടിലും active configure ചെയ്യാം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ active passive. Same as PAGP configure ചെയ്യുമ്പം ഇവിടെ ഡിസേബിൾ എന്നുള്ളൊരു മോഡ് ഉണ്ട്, പിന്നെ ഓട്ടോ ഉണ്ട്. രണ്ടിലും ഓട്ടോ കോൺഫിഗർ ചെയ്യാതിരിക്കുക. ഓട്ടോ ഇസ് ഈക്വലന്റ് ടു പാസീവ്. ഓക്കെ, പിന്നെ Ether channel configure ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ we can add 8 physical ports as a logically one group within the port channel group. PAGP ആണെങ്കിൽ 8 എണ്ണവും LACP ആണെങ്കിൽ 16 physical ports നമുക്ക് ഗ്രൂപ്പിലേക്ക് കൊണ്ടുവരാം. But when you do 8, 16 in LACP, the 8 will be active and the 8 will be standby. So let's say if I do have a 9 between switches, so the 8 will be active, 1 will be standby. If any one of the active within the 8 goes down, the 9th one will become to be a part of active group, active path. So let's say we do the similar settings in our design. So we'll go to, so we'll do a physical connection. Switch to PC straight cable. Let's say G101. This is I put 2. And then This is uplink port 1 and 2 and 2. So let's say this is PC1 1.1.1.1/8 VLAN 10 name data. This is 1.1.2. Let's say this is switch 1, switch 2. This is G1/0/1, G1/0/2. This one G1/1/1, 1/1/1, 1/2, 1/2. This is access port. Hope you can see my screen. And then this is trunk port. So by looking into this design, as per the spanning tree, we can say that always all the ports from the root to bridge will become designated. So you can see these two are up. So this must be a root to bridge. To elect the root to bridge, the switch with the lowest priority will become root to bridge. If we didn't configure the default value of the switch root 32768, then the switch with the lowest base MAC will be elect as a root to bridge. So now if you check the switch MAC address, let's say we'll open the switch 1 and switch 2. Before we can assign an IP address to the system, by the way, PC2, PC1 and PC2. This is PC1. This is PC2. If I go to PC1, PC1, desktop 1111, PC2, 112. Now we have IP address in PC2 as well as PC1. Okay, now let us configure the switch. So switch 1, this is switch 1. Host name switch 1, SW1, VLAN 10, name data, exit. We created a VLAN. If you show VLAN, we can see VLAN 10 has been created, but all the ports are belongs to default VLAN. We can add G1/0/1 into VLAN 10. So interface G1/0/1, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 10, exit, do show VLAN. You can see that the port 1 belongs to VLAN 10. Now we need to configure the trunk interface. The range command will help us to add multiple interface 1 to 2. This is our uplink port, switch port trunk encapsulation dot fun queue, switch port mode trunk. In some sort of switches, it doesn't require this commands because they will automatically select the .1q protocol if the switch will support only one. But in this model, we have a choice. It support either .1q or ISL, Cisco proprietary, so that we need to mention by physically what protocol that need to support. Do right. So what we have done, we put the name, host name switch 1, then we created a VLAN 10 and assigned port 101 into VLAN 10. And one of the mandatory stuff here, you need to assign the description. That is more important. 01. Let's say description connected to PC1. This description, we also call it as port labeling, must be equal to the physical port labeling of the switch in order to easily identify. So let's say we will access the second switch, enable config T. So you can see the port number 2 is up. So we don't have a VLAN here. So VLAN 10, name data, exit, do show VLAN. You can see the port number G102 being connected to the PC2. Interface 10/2, switch ports mode access, switch port access VLAN 10, exit. No shutdown is not mandatory. Then interface range gig 1/1 2, switch port. Let's say if I'm not giving .1q, switch port mode trunk. It will tell us this is by default auto, so that we need to mention what kind of protocol that need to be to be used. Switch port trunk encapsulation. We can see here .1q, switch port mode trunk. So we have configured trunking now. To see the trunking, show interface trunk. You can see that the port number 1 and 2 configured as a trunk, and all the available VLAN, which VLAN 1 as a default and VLAN 10, which we configured, is allowed. But when you see show spanning tree, you can see both the ports is up from the root to bridge. Why this switch is elected as a, this is switch 2. Why this switch is elected as a root to bridge? If you look into the MAC address, 00, okay, let me copy this MAC address. Then we'll go to the second switch or the first switch. Let's say the first switch. Show spanning tree. This is the, here you can see this the same switch MAC address and the root to bridge switch MAC address. You can see here 2F, and here we can see 7. So 2 is lower than the 7. Therefore, this switch become the other switch become root to bridge. But for us, it's not a matter. We will configuring ether channel, by the way. So when you send something from this system, let's say I'm going to ping from the PC. We have a 2 physical ports, and let's see how it will move. Ping 1.2, trace it. So there is reachability, but it is utilizing only one physical ports because the other port is down. So in order for us to get the both the port speed, we can configure port channel or ether channel or link aggregation lag in between them, and we can add up to 8 physical ports into one ether channel group or port channel group. So we'll consider this as port channel. So let us say we'll configure this port channel, we call it port channel 10 protocol LACP. By default is LACP, so if we configure LACP, no need to mention again LACP. Then mode active. So the configuration will go to the switch 1, config T, interface range gig 1/1/1-2, the port which are interconnected between switches, then channel group. Then here we have 48 group that we can create in this model, let's say 10. Then we can give a command called mode, then it will tell you auto, active and passive for LACP, auto and desirable for PAGP, and on, which is by statically that we configuring. Without configuring LACP, we are configuring by statically on. So we can do anything, but preferable methodology is to be configured by LACP, which is open standard. So within the LACP, we configure as active. Fine. Does not require to mention channel protocol LACP because the default is LACP. Then no shutdown, does not required, by the way. Then we go to interface port channel. Then the port channel number which we configure 10. Then we can put a description. Port channel 10, or we will generally what we mention connected to G1/1 and 2 to the switch 2. So by looking into the port channel configuration, we'll come to know where it is being connected. Then switch port mode trunk. So again, we need to mention what kind of protocol that we're going to use. Switch port trunk encapsulation .funq, switch port mode trunk. Do right. So the same set of configuration, if you do show run, you can see here interface port channel 10 is using to the G1/1/1 and 2 of the second switch. The same way, we need to configure the ether channel configuration on the second switch. Let's say config T interface range gig 1/1/1-2 channel group 10 mode active, exit interface port channel 10, same thing, description, let's say connected to G1/1/1-2 switch 1, switch port trunk encapsulation .funq, switch port mode trunk. Do right. So by doing this, we can see the output here. It says that your port channel is being up. if you made a different protocol like LACP and PAGP, or within the LACP active or passive and passive, the interface will not be up. Now we can verify this configuration. One of the verification command is show interface port channel and your port channel number, let's say 10. Here you can see that the description, and it is up and connected. You can see that the member in this port channel group is 1 and 2. And you can see here the speed of the interface. The both physical interface speed. Then we will look into the physical diagram. Let's say before it was showing one was down. The second port of the switch one was down because of an STP root to bridge and the non-root to bridge. Now, when you look into the spanning tree calculation, the spanning tree will know only about single interface towards to your switch 2 from switch 1 and vice versa. When an STP could not identify multiple physical interface, they cannot be make any port as a down. For them, for the STP, it's a single single logical interface. So hope you understand the session. We'll continue the session for troubleshooting and other stuff. Thank you for being with us from CML Infotech. Have a good time. Thank you for being with us. Hope you enjoy the session. Today we were discussed about Ether Channel lab session from CCNA. Thank you and have a good day.